All praises, all honor, all glory be unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kodash. Double honors to the apostle elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace and salutation to all the Akim doing and pushing this word in sincerity and truth worldwide. And a sincere shalom to the elect. Now, brother was doing this video, brother Yashawamba from Bahamas, down there in the islands. Benjamin, And then, as I'm watching the brothers, as you can see right here, as I'm watching and listening to the brothers' video, I got the inspiration through the spirit to do a video, right? And as I'm getting ready to do the video, now I see this brother here, Ak, 8 hours ago, put up the same thing. Food and Drug Association, FDA, warns public not to eat possible radioactive shrimp sold at Walmart. Well, she didn't eat damn shrimp. Regardless, damn right. That's our people shouldn't be eating that shit. Okay? The Lord required that which is past, man. And this is why the scriptures tell you, Romans chapter 15 and verse 4. And get it real quick. We always quote it. Romans 15 and verse 4. Whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. Main point. Whatsoever things were written aforetime, the past, right? What the Lord inscribed in the laws for us to keep, okay? Were written for our learning, okay? Because there was examples set that if you want to go off from listening what Yahweh Bashim Yahushai has to say, you're going to meet the consequences, okay? So we have multiple examples, hey, Genesis chapter 4 and 7. You don't want to obey, sin lieth at the door. Right? And we all know what happens. The lust, the sin, then cometh death. So let's get into this real quick here. All right. And like the brother said, they're gonna be they're gonna be glowing. Okay, they're gonna be fucking glowing, man. Hey, what's Revelation chapter 16 say about that radioactive business? Everybody who takes the MOTB shall have what? Okay. Revelation chapter 16 and verse 2. And the first went out, and the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worship his image. Now, when you go into that word there, sore, right? If I'm not mistaken, it goes into ulcer, pus, okay? So those people who take that thing, and I even had a dream. This was some years back. I shared the testimony with the brothers. It was chaos, man. It was chaos going on. And I remember there was a girl in a blue polka dot dress, and some guy. People were going nuts. Some guy ripped down a lamp pole. Okay, the light, street light, the lamp pole. The man ripped it. I don't know how. But whatever, people are going mad. And remember, that thing can alter certain things in your body, okay, and in your mind. The MOTB in the mind, right? So, main point, when I had looked at the people, they all had taken that MOTB because on their skin, it was like, it looked like their skin had been burnt, right? But flesh, it almost looked like volcano-ish. I don't think that kind of orange, or if you see somebody get burnt and they just put it out, you see that orangey flesh on the skin, if you brothers know what I'm talking about. And that's what I was seeing on these people, and it almost looked like it was moving, kind of. You see these things in the movie, right? And Esau, his tongue falls upon himself. So going back into this, yeah, you ain't supposed to be eating this stuff. It's full of radiation, right? Pus and sores. Get ready for your pus and sores. I know this was dealing with the MOTB, but hey, we already know that there's radiation inside of that MOTB. Okay, so let's get into this real quick. Abominable foods, radioactive shrimp. Okay, remember what I read in Romans chapter 15 and verse 4, right? Written aforetime for our learning. So when we go back in history here, we take a stroll through memory lane. First Maccabee chapter 1 and verse, let me see here, 60, at which time, according to the commandment, the king's commandment, Antiochus, they put to death certain women that had caused their children to be circumcised, and hung their infants about their necks, and rifled their houses, and slew them that had circumcised them. Howbeit, many in Israel were fully resolved and confirmed in themselves not to eat any unclean thing. Okay? Wherefore, the rather to die, that they might not be defiled with meats, and that they might not profane the holy covenant. So then they died. Okay? So you have Jake out here, always trying to fill his belly, always keeping up in the things that the heathens do. I tell you in Jeremiah, real quickly, Jeremiah chapter 10, what I tell you there, verse 2, thus saith Yahweh, learn not the ways of the heathen. That's the things that the heathens do. They eat frog, all these type of weird, nasty shit they eat, okay? That's not on our diet. That's not on our, agenda. The Lord separated us from these people. Deuteronomy was at 32 and 8, okay? Now, still going back into memory lane here, let's go back to 2 Maccabee, chapter 6 and 6. Neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days or ancient feasts, or to profess himself at all to be a Jew. So we couldn't keep the law, statutes, and commandments. They didn't want us to keep it, right? Like verse 1 said, they wanted us to depart from the laws of our fathers, right? And not to live after the laws of Yahweh, right? So this is what their main thing is, that we should all come together. The law, statutes, and commandments should be done away with. We've heard this and seen this multiple times in the scriptures before, okay? Where Tower of Babel, take that for instance, where the Lord said, wait, all these people have become one, speaking one language, go down there and confound their tongue, right? So this has always been something that the enemy wants, to scatter us, that we shouldn't be a nation, that we should step away from our law, statutes, and commandments, okay, and fall and do what the heathens do. When in Rome, exactly, right? So going back into this, let's go here, because the Lord, he wants us to rehearse these righteous acts, all right? These things aren't done away with. In fact, when Yahweh came, was that Matthew chapter 5? Let me quote this real quick, because you have to bring it up. Matthew chapter 5 and verse, was it 5? Yep, 5 and 17. Think not that I come to destroy the law or the prophets. I come not to destroy, but to fulfill. You see that? So, he didn't come to destroy the law. Like these people out here, these Christians, oh, he came, now we believe in him, and the blood of Christ covers us and all this. No. They don't know what they're talking about, okay? They have no clue what they're talking about, man. So anyways, Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and 15, that which have been is now, and that which is to be have already been, and Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, required that which is past. And what were we doing in the past? Keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments, okay? Going by, the laws, okay? But you have our people wrapped up, hand in hand, joining hand in hand with the enemy, saying, no, I'd rather this way. It's better. It feels better, It's more sensual to the to the skin, Anyways, let's go back into this. Judges 5 and 11. They that are delivered from the noise of the archers in the place of drawing waters, here, talking about nuclear destruction, there shall they rehearse the righteous acts of Yahweh, okay? There shall they rehearse the righteous acts of Yahweh, okay? So where are we now? We're in the land of our captivity. This place has been prophesied within the scriptures that this place shall be destroyed with thermal nuke, okay? We already know what the scriptures say about what's going to happen in this land, but look, we already know that all is, majority, Salakia, the Israelites are here, and they're going to do what? Rehearse the righteous acts unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Romans chapter 15 and verse 4, for our learning, so we can you know, praise Yahweh Bashim Yahushai within these times here, looking for that salvation. Okay? So here it is, we're rehearsing righteous acts, not trying to fucking eat these shrimps, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to eat pork and all this abominable foods that the Lord told us in the scriptures. Yo, I don't want you doing this, okay? These laws, statutes, and commandments, keep them to the best of your ability in the land of your captivity. Because what does it tell us in Romans chapter 13? See, this is why people, they think that the Bible is contradicting itself, but you need a man that has the understanding, the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua to break these things down to you. Let every soul, let me get it, Romans chapter 13 and verse 1, let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but of Yahweh. The powers that be are ordained of Yahweh. Okay? So the powers that be are ordained by the Most High. So he set it up one, he take it down another. So right now we know that Esau is in his kingship, right? He has this, or queendomship. He has his time to rule now. The Lord said what? I set his bounds that he can't go past, right? So all these laws, statutes, all these laws that you see out here, speeding, can't go past that, don't go into the store and steal, don't go do this, don't do that, we keep them. As long as it doesn't supersede the ways of Yahweh Shem Yahushai or us keeping our laws, statutes, and commandments, right? Like, we can't go out there and obviously slaughter a goat on the Passover, you know, bringing it down, bringing it into our backyard. We got chickens and goats raising and stuff, so we could pick out, you know, one with no spots and blemishes. You know what I mean? We can't do that, right? So this is where it comes into rehearsing the righteous acts and keeping in accordance with Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Like he said, the powers that be are ordained of him. So we go through these struggles, keeping, you know, the laws of this land to the best of our ability too as well, but keeping the laws and statutes and commandments of Yahweh Shem Yahushai daily within our life, walking onto him, right? So going back into this, yep, there's a way that seemeth right unto a man. So, you know, 2/3 they're looking at what's going on now, and they're saying, well, this is all right, you know, this is okay. I got a house on my house, you eat pork, you know, when in Rome, hence the term, right? Proverbs chapter 16 and verse 25, there's a way that seemeth right unto a man, right? So they think that what is set up now, the way that the system is set up now, the way that life is, you know, you could go out there, buy your pork, and these people can do that, these people can do that. They think that's right. They think that's okay, right? Because they look at the scriptures, the Bible, and they say, I've never met God, I've never seen him. Where's the promise of his coming? Since the fathers fell asleep, all things remain the same. So you see within their mindset, okay, they're fully convinced within their mind that, yeah, this is it. Psalms chapter 49 and verse 11. So why the hell are we going to listen to you in this Bible stuff, right? Oh, that was then. Abraham died a long time ago. Isaac died a long time ago. You know, their bones are buried with their bones, right? This is all ancient stories that you guys are telling us, you know? 2,000 years ago, you know, this is their mindset. What does it say? But the end thereof are the ways of death. So all of this stuff where they're eating these abominable foods, the pork, the pork, the shrimp, all these type of things, what they're eating, they don't understand that, you know, it's bad even to eat too much meats all the time. All week you're just eating meat. You know, look at Daniel chapter, I think it's Daniel chapter 2 or verse 4. The king's meat, the pulse, and the ones who ate the pulse, the green, they're more fair in skin, more stronger, you know, look more alert. But the other ones who ate the king's meat, they're dull. You understand? So there's a way that seemeth right unto a man, but the ends thereof is death, man. Okay? That's why we keep the law, statutes, and commandments of these scriptures to the best of our ability, because we know, you know, in his ways that he has taught us and shown us, there's prosperity. But in the ways of this world, it's the ways of death, man. Okay? There's no balance with these people. You know, a man said the yin and the yang is powerful, but the line in between it is the most powerful thing. Because the line in between it is holding one side back from the other and vice versa. Second Maccabee chapter 4 and verse 15. Not setting by the honors of their fathers, but liking the glory of the Grecians best of all, by reason wherefore sore calamity came upon them, for they had them to be their enemies and avengers, whose customs, see that, whose customs they followed so earnestly. This is the same thing happening right now. You see Jake out there calling themselves Buddha, Muslims, this, that. They're following the ways of the heathens, okay? They're not following their own customs. They're not following their own ways. This is why our people are so blind. This is why the scriptures say in Hosea 4 and 6, destroyed for what? A lack of knowledge, man. Right? Also, too, they're Sodist children, Jeremiah 4 and 22. Continuing, and unto whom they desire to be like in all things. So you see, yeah, they want to be like the heathens. When in Rome, same thing, okay? What stays in Vegas is, you know, all those stupid terminologies, man. But the main point here, they want to be like the heathens. They require, you know, they love the ways, what they eat, all these things, right? For it is not a light thing to do wickedly against the laws of Yahweh. Yeah, and they proclaim themselves not to be Israelites, but guess what? You are Israelite, okay? You are Israelite, man. And you got some Israelites who are born in those lands fully convinced within themselves that they're so-called Chinese or so-called Indian or so-called, you know, European or whatnot, okay? Remember, our seed was scattered everywhere, so we might look like those nations too as well. And you have our people over there too that are, yeah, this is the way, you know, this is my life, this is who I look like, this is it. But really within, the spirit within them, they're Israelite, and they should be taking heed. This is why the brothers say that what? They don't consider, okay? 2/3 of our people, they don't consider, and, you know, even the lost, you know, just, it's not in their mind, man. Whatever they've been raised into to do, they're doing, okay? For it is not a light thing to do wickedly against the laws of Yahweh, but the time following shall declare these things, okay? And we're telling you what you know, hey, the Lord is not happy with that, man. Stop telling us about the Lord hateth. What is the Lord hates the sin, not the sinner. Well, let's see what it says right here. Hold on a second. Let me see right here. Hold up. Let me see. Is it here? I always kind of, let me see something here. There's a scripture that tells you that, man. The Lord hateth the sinner, man. And they trying to flip it, okay? If you brothers know, for the sake of time, what our scripture is on. Let me see something here, right? No, it's Ecclesiasticus. Let me see. Is it 8? Ecclesiasticus 8 or 5? Well, you brothers know where the scripture is. Just put it up in the comment board. For some odd reason, I know I have a reason. I just flew past it or something like that. It happens. It happens. Let me see something here. No. I can't let this go by. I know it's somewhere here, man. Hold on a second. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, that's a good one there. My right hand shall not spare the sinner. My sword shall not cease over them that shed innocent blood on the earth. That's a good one too, but tells you straight, tells you straight goods that the Lord said that he hateth, the sinner, man. Tongue, come on, man. Come on. Yeah, right there. Sirach 12:6. When the Most High hateth sinners. Okay? And will pray vengeance upon the ungodly and them and keepeth them against the mighty day of their punishment. Yeah. Okay, let's get into the last scripture here. I knew it was there, man. Yeah, let's go to Jeremiah. See what these 2/3, been saying. Romans chapter 15 and verse 4, right? Written aforetime for our learning, right? Jeremiah 44 and verse 16. As for the word that thou hast spoken unto us in the name of Yahweh, we will not hearken unto thee, but we will certainly do whatsoever thing goeth forth out of our own mouth, to burn incense unto the Queen of Heaven, and to pour drink offerings unto her, as we have done, we and our fathers, our kings, and our princesses in the cities of Judah, and in the streets of Jerusalem. Remember, the Lord said, pray not for these people. You don't see what they're doing? For then we had plenty of victuals, and were well, and saw no evil. You see? So when these people, just like the heathens know, when we're detached from our power, right? And all oblivious to our power, right? They like that, right? So think about it this way. When these 2/3 step away from even trying to serve Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, they see everything that they need. They get their consolation, their prize, right? In this world, living like these people, doing like the heathens, going to church, old Jeebus, you know what I mean? They fully convinced that, yeah, see, we do this, we gonna get these things in the world, right? But what it say? But since we left off to burn incense to the Queen of Heaven and to pour drink offerings unto her, we have wanted all things and have been consumed by the sword and by the famine. Because when you come to serve the Lord, your head's gonna be buttoned. It ain't like, hey, 2/3 are still underneath the curses. Okay, they still get cotched up. You see how much rappers died in 2020, 24, 25, 23, 22. The Lord ain't playing no jokes, man. Okay, but when they align themselves with the heathens, the heathens give them little trinkets. That's why you got the thing called the 501c3. Really a gag order, because they knew what was gonna come out eventually, right? They not like they don't got their men to read the scriptures and say, look, in the future you're gonna have Israelites popping up, man. What you gonna do about this? Okay, the elites, they know these things, man. And this is why they're trying their darndest. It's so hard to stomp this out, but you it's too late. It's too fucking late. The button's there, everything's on the table. They're already, NASA's already seeing the chariots slowly approaching. everything is there, man. All these nations hate Babylon. They're already ready they're already frustrated with DJ Trump, Nero, right? They're already frustrated with him. They're ready to hit those buttons, man. Russia, you keep aggravating Russia, you're going to see some real terror. Because the American army, they got their army men dressing in high heels and putting on lipstick and shit. Okay? Those men over there that have that warrior type spirit, they're not playing no games with you. The Koreans, the Chinese, the Africans, the Indians, all of them. They're not playing no goddamn games with the North. And the North keeps trying to tickle people and trying to make them drink that Babylonian juice. And the people are like, no, we don't want this no more. We woken up and we mad. Like it tells you in Jeremiah chapter 51. The nations are woken from that bullshit, man. They mad. And this is all prophecy from Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, so there's nothing you can do. Okay? All you gotta do is just play your card, play your role on that chess or checkers fucking board, man. So all you can do is live your life, yo, because there's no such thing as free will. The Lord already marked out your days. He already set your bounds, you know? So, hey, you know, our people with this abominable food, hey, man, you're already marked for death, man. You know, and we keep telling you, hey, stay away from these things. These are things that you can... Look, I don't have to shave my beard. I don't have to go to the store and buy, you know what I mean? As in the time of Sekel Maccabees. Prove to me, eat this piece of swine's flesh, you know? Ain't none of that going on, you know? So all these guys with their excuses, they always find, you know, a wicked man findeth an excuse, man. Sirach chapter 32 and 17, right?